Alright, so welcome back to the live stream. Uh, YouTube, please don't take down this video. I am not a child. Um, so welcome to today's live stream, where I am going to be showing you the in-depth look at that locomotive right there. So yeah, live stream starting soon, although it's technically already started. Let's get some things underway. Alright, sorry, the stream is just slightly derailed. But promise you it will start very shortly. We just get some things done. We're just putting the tender back together. Alright. So here we have it, the locomotive. Now to put its front wheels on the track. There we go. Alright, it's here. So Denver and Rio Grande, or Denver and Rio Grande Western, or just Denver, or D&RGW. It's a 2882, as you can see from the wheel arrangement here. Two wheels in the front, two sets of 8 driving wheels, and then 2 wheels here in the back. And so this will be an in-depth showcase of this locomotive. So I've currently got a light on it as much as I can of the locomotive. And yeah, and the camera won't focus. I did use some illegal building techniques just to get those things on the front, but we won't talk about that. We don't talk about illegal building techniques. Here it is. So, starting off with the front of the locomotive. It's got, so here it's got this little guardrail and the light there, and here there's supposed to be a coupling, but I just couldn't find the pieces for that. And there's the cow catcher, and then this little box here on the side. I tried to make this thing as accurate as possible, and there's more guardrails and the tubing or piping or whatever it is on the front, and then this thing, and then the number plates in the stack, and along the top here, got all these. Come on, focus. You see it's Lego. It's not the most accurate thing ever because the top is a little flat. But this thing here, this was supposed to be slanted. But I just decided to build it with bricks because it just looks better that way. And you can see it's the wheels and the rods and the pistons. And yeah, and if you actually look closely here, you can actually see. Uh, sorry if I blinded. Uh, yeah, you can see that it's held together by couplers if you look closely. The old ones. You see how it's built. You can see how the pistons work. It's got those two little bars on each side. And then here is the firebox, which is however many studs long that is. But this is actually the first time a locomotive I've built like this. You can see that the boiler is connected to the wheels here at the base. You can see that again. And you can see that there's a gap underneath the locomotive. You can also see the piping. And here, let me just get this thing back in the vat. And then here, we can take off that. And that's what it looks like. And get a light on it there. You can see how it's built. So these were just attached to there, just like so. And then these are partially what support the cab, because it's literally held on by 4 studs. And speaking of cab work, here's detail in the cab. There's not much other than the firebox, the 2 chairs with this conductor dude missing an arm, a shovel, some gold pieces, a lever, another seat, windows. Let's just see how flimsy the roof is. It's not very well built on the back. This is what it looks like on the side, and what it looks like from the front. And you can see that it's got these on, like on the rail thing. Like I said, I tried to make it as accurate as possible. And then you can see how I've taken the wheels from my tender engine 72, which I've used the same number from the tank engine, if you remember. And then it's just got a brick-built boiler. So let me remove the tenders so y'all can actually see. Well, you can't really see it. But the inside of the boiler is completely solid, because I reused the boiler from the oversized T1, in which the 50 of y'all who said give it a different wheel arrangement. I technically did that, but I changed the boiler up a lot. And the boiler is just a regular circle shape, except I've added like basically a brick and then smoothed it out with these flat tiles here. And then on the bottom you can see how where the piping would be attached. And then if we go to the other side, I passed this Christmas tree with presents already underneath it. It's not even Christmas yet. But here you can see there's more piping and things. This is how the locomotive looks. And then you can see right there, again, how it's built. And you can see a pink reflection, and I'll get to that in a minute. You can see how it's kind of built here. I mean, you might just be able to possibly rebuild this from looks. And now, the grand reveal. Not really, but you can see there. It's like that. So if the lighting is really weird, you can see the couplers which actually work extremely well. Whenever moving the first set of wheels, you have to lift up the boiler. The top isn't the most accurate thing either. And I just took a few pictures and made reference photos and built it from those reference photos. But now, I usually start with the tender, but I started with the locomotive. But now moving on to the tender, it reuses the wheels from that SD40-2 over there. And this is the same old tender that was on, if y'all remember, it was from the 4444 locomotive I made with not side plates, wind deflectors, or smoke deflectors, I mean. There's a lot of people doing live streams today. You can see those lights, and then the top, and then this thing that was on the real locomotive and some other locomotives at the time. And I just tried to make the tender also as accurate as possible. You can see there's coal and how that's built. It hasn't gotten the Rio Grande on the side in the Rio Grande font. Let's just move the tender up to the locomotive, bring it back over here, and set the camera here. And just see how well it runs. But you'd actually have to push it down on the back of the boiler to get the locomotive to properly work. Sometimes it has problems, such as the magnetic couplers not wanting to work together. But I think that's good. You can just see how well it works, because the weight of the boiler is pushing down on those front wheels. Then if you just push the locomotive from the tender, it won't work as good unless you're going like this fast. But I'd prefer to push down on the back end of the boiler. And the thing is, it successfully works on curves. So that's a big accomplishment, though I haven't tested it on these yet fully. In the building stages, about like last Sunday or Monday, whatever it was, I was testing it on some curves, and I made this thing as accurate as possible. The front, that's why it looks a bit strange, as accurate to the real thing, because I had to get this thing to maneuver around curves properly and successfully. And you can just see how much the boiler overhangs the tracks. And this is how I built my Challenger, if you remember from early in my channel, when I built that first Santa Fe SD40-2. If you remember, if you're an OG, if you watched my channel for a long time, you can see the locomotive works on curves. And right after this, we're gonna see if it can work on switches or points. Two different terms for that. No derailments whatsoever, except for the tender disconnecting randomly, because there's a lot of friction on the wheels tender. So we shall see if this locomotive can work on switches. So I'm just gonna put the light on the right there. Oh yeah, it works on switches too. That's not good, I don't think. Oh, the front pair of wheels. Oh wait. Oh no, it works. I was just confused. Like here, it's just set up the... Oh, Lynx, that's my cat over there. But anyway, here I shall set up the camera so y'all can see the locomotive, how well it does on curves and swishes. This thing actually performed way better than I originally thought. Because I thought it was just gonna be a flop and fail instantly. But no, it did the exact opposite. This thing impresses me. I'm impressed what I can build. Everyone is. I'm not trying to say that I'm better, I'm just saying that I have a little complicated. I'm not trying to say that I'm better than everyone or have better skill than everyone. I'm just saying that I can accomplish, like I'm amazed I can accomplish things like this. And no derailments whatsoever. Alright, let's see how fast we can have the locomotive go. So here I've where should I set? Oh no. Alright, so I've set up the camera there. Lynx, you get out of the way. My cat. Lynx, go on. You don't want to get hit by a locomotive, Lynx. But I've tried to light up everything as best as I can. Let me see if I can get more lighting. Sorry about that. Something not everyone wants to see. But alright, let's see how fast this thing can go. And how well it can perform. Okay, so instantly the tender just wants to derail, or not derail, disconnect. So I'm gonna see if I can fix this thing right now. My cat is interested in the light, so let's move the locomotive aside. Let's see here. Suppose I can just move this. Come on now. My nails. I'm gonna destroy my nails doing this. Okay, that was easier. So now it's done that. We can flip the tender over. And then we can put these wheels. Okay. I'll be right back. Alright. So I'm going to try and finish the stream as soon as possible. Because there's an amazing sunset out right now. Actually, I might just be able to show you guys the sunset. We're at about 20 minutes into the stream. And I've just fixed the tender, so let me just do a quick little test run with the new tender. So, alright, that works way better. I'm gonna show you all the absolutely amazing sunset right now. Oh. I mean, y'all can see the sunset, it's kind of blurry. Come on, focus. That looks like a game now. Y'all can see the sunset, kind of. You see the setup of tracks I've got currently. Alright. we do this quick little test, and then we test if it can run with passenger cars. Ooh, that's smooth. Oop, the tender just disconnected again. Sorry, what I think is the problem is the stiffness of the wheels or something with the tender. Either that or the weight. I'm pretty sure it's the weight. I think the weight of the tender is really what's causing the problem. That's really smooth. This thing is way more successful than I had previously thought. You just see how well it performs. Then I mean, this thing does lock up the wheels. On that, you can see it's. Let me get a light on it again. You can see that the back wheels are starting to come up from the ground because of the immense weight in the front. I mean, just look at this. Just admire this. Okay, lesson learned. Don't go too fast on the switches or points, because the front's just derailed. Let's try that again. I mean, it does sound like it's derailing, although it's not. But let's see the size comparison of minifigure compared to this train. Let me just put it in the stand again. Get two Lego minifigures I've made a long time ago. And here's the conductor from Polar Express and Hero Boy. I did have other characters, and I was supposed to make a Polar Express video with my Polar Express Lionel model, but that never happened. Like, the tracks were bigger than this Lego, like 2 studs more at least. But the camera's a little close. Actually, get it centered or something. There. I'm gonna put Hero Boy here so that you can see the actual size difference between him and the locomotive. And then I'm gonna put the conductor up on there. As you can see, the train taller than the conductor from a certain distance. At an angle, it looks like the conductor's probably slightly taller than the locomotive. My cat is here again. Anyway, I'm just gonna. How do I do this? That's a good lighting. Ish. Links. My cat really wants to be in the live stream video. But you can see there just how big it is compared to him. And I'm going to move him down to the ground here. And you can see the true size. There we go. I hope the audio isn't bad, otherwise this whole thing is ruined. But I'm sure it's the same as regular video. But as you can see, it's size comparison of the whole train compared to him. Yeah, he's literally as tall as the wheels. But anyway, let's see if I can remember anything else I was gonna do in the stream. Well, that seems to be about it for the stream. And this locomotive was way more successful than I thought. And this stream is almost 30 minutes long now. It's at 26, almost 27 minutes. With my cat, again, and the whole tree. But anyway, that will conclude today's video / live stream. And now I shall put on the end of the video. So here we now shall conclude this live stream with the intro music. Thanks for tuning in, folks. I know the one person. Best lighting. Alright. So this is the end of the stream. Once the music starts to dampen down, the video will end.